Hi everyone, I am Archana Krishnan, Assistant Professor of PCA Department in AJKCAS College of Arts and Science. Now, I am here for teaching of Code Java. Here, I am today teaching the basics of a history of Java, tokens, method overloading, reference parameters, arrays. So first, we look into the introduction of Java. Java programming language is a high-level, object-oriented, general-purpose and a secure programming language. It has developed by James Gosling at Microsoft in 1991. At this time, they called it as Oak. Sun Microsoft changed the name to Java in 1995. In 2009, Oracle Corporation took over Sun Microsystem. Java is the most widely used programming language. It is designed for the distributed environment of the Internet. Java is freely accessible to users and we can run it on all the platforms. Java follows the WORA, that is, write once, run anywhere principle and is platform independent. Now we will look into the editions of Java. There are three editions of Java. Number one is Java Standard Editions. We use this edition to create programs for the desktop computer. Second one, the Java Enterprise Edition. We use this edition to create the large programs that run on the server and to manage heavy traffic and complex transactions. Number three is the Java Micro Edition. We use this edition to develop applications for small devices such as set-top boxes, phones and appliances, etc. Now we will come to the features of Java. Java is very simple. Why it is called simple? Because its syntax is simple and easy to understand. Java eliminates many complex and ambiguous concepts of C++. For example, the use of explicit pointers and operators overloading are not in Java. Object-oriented. Everything in Java is in the form of the object. In other words, it has some data and behavior. A Java program must have at least one class and object. And here comes the robust. Java always tries to check errors at runtime and compile time. Java uses a garbage collector to provide a strong memory management system. Features like exception handling and garbage collection make Java robust and strong. Secure. Java is most secure language. Why? Because Java does not use explicit pointers. All Java programs run in a virtual machine. However, Java contains a security manager that defines the access levels of Java classes. And now comes the portability. Why? We can carry this bytecode of Java to many platforms. There are no implementation dependent features in Java. Java provides predefined information for everything related to the storage, such as the size of primitive data types. High performance. Java provides high performance with the use of the just-in-time. Here comes the applications of Java programming. Here, the desktop applications, web applications, mobile application, cloud computing, enterprise applications, scientific application, operating systems, embedded system, cryptography, smart cards, computer games, web servers and application servers are there. Now, here comes what the Java environment is. JVM, GRE and JDK is there for the Java environment. Now, we will see what are these. Java Virtual Machine, that is JVM. JVM provides a runtime environment in which we can execute the bytecode. JVM is a platform dependent. It performs the following tasks like loading the code, verifying the code, executing the code, providing a runtime environment. Now, the second one is JRE, Java Runtime Environment. JRE is a collection of tools. These tools together allow the development of applications and provide a runtime environment. JVM is a part of JRE. JRE is also platform dependent like JVM. Now here comes the third one, JDK, that is Java Development Kit. Java Development Kit provides an environment that helps to develop and execute the Java program. There are development tools in JDK to provide an achievement to develop Java programs. JDK, along with the JRE, contains other resources like the interpreter loader, compiler, an RTL jar, and a documentation generator. These components together help you to build Java programs. Now, here comes the tokens. Tokens. Java tokens are the smallest elements of the program which are identified by the compiler. Tokens in Java include identifiers, keywords, literals, operators and separators. Now look into in these tokens. Number one is the keyword. Keywords are the special words that are basically reserved words in any programming language. We cannot use them in the rest of the programs. We use only them as a name of variables in Java class or method. Java has around 50 keywords which are basics to Java. Now we will come to the Java identifiers. Identifiers in Java are symbolic names used for identification. They can be a class name, variable name, method name, package name, constant name and more. However, in Java there are some reserved words that cannot be used as an identifier. Here comes the rules for the identifiers in Java. Number one is that a value identifier must have characters, that is capital A to Z and small a to Z, or numbers 0 to 9 and underscore and a dollar sign. For example, Java point is an invalid identifier because it contains a special character which is an under. Now, second one is there should be any space in between the identifier. Third, an identifier should not contain a number at the starting. Number fourth is that identifier should be of a length 4 to 15 letters only. However, there is no limit on the length, but it is good to follow the standard conventions. These are the rules for the identifiers. Java literals. In Java, Java literal is a notation that represents a fixed value in a source code. Literals are the constant values that appear directly in the program. It can be assigned directly to the variable. There are four literals in our Java. That is, one is Boolean literal, string literal, character literal and integer literal. Here comes the black slash literals. Java supports some special backslash characters. Here comes the slash n. Slash n is used for the new line. Slash t, it is used for horizontal tab. Slash b, it is used for blank space, and slash colon, it is used for the single quote. Now here comes the character literals. What is character literals? Character literal is expressed as a character for an escape sequence enclosed in a single quotations. What are the string literals? String literals is a sequence of characters that is enclosed between double quotations. And here comes the floating point literals. Floating point literals having that values that contain decimals are called to be floating numbers. And the primitive data types of floating point literals having the following rules. Floating point literals are having written as F or capital F. For example, 6F, 6.35F. It is having the 32-bit floating literals. Floating literals are double type end with a D or capital D. It is a potential to write D or a capital D. For example, 6D, 6.35 capital D. It has 64-bit double literal. It can also be represented in the form of the exponent. Now here comes the operators. Operators in Java is a symbolic that is used to perform arithmetical operations. Here we have some of these operators in Java that are arithmetical operator, unary operators, assignment operator, relation operators, logical operators, ternary operators, bitwise operators and shift operators. Now we will look into these operators. What is arithmetical operators? That operators will be doing plus, minus, multiplication, division and modulus. Relation operators, that is doing the operations like greater than, less than equal to, greater than equal to, double equal to, and so on. And next one is logical operators, that is and or not. Assignment operator is equal to operator that is we are using. And next one is the increment and decrement operators. Plus and minus, these are the operators. Condition operator. Condition operator is that expression 1, question mark, expression 2, colon, expression 3. Bitwise operators, that is and or not, etc. Now here comes how we write the comments in Java. Comments are used to explain the Java code and to make it more relatable. It can also be used to prevent execution when testing alternative code. For example, one is the single line comments start with the forward slashes, and multi-line comments having the single slash star and ends with a star slash. Now comes to our next, that is our method overloading. If a class have multiple methods having same name but different in parameters, it is known as a method overloading. For example, both the class has a common method draw. Circle has to be provided its own implementation of draw method. In other words, it has overridden draw method of a shape class. Along the draw method, shape class also contains fill method which has not been overridden by the circle class, but this method will be inherited to class circle class with the default implementations. Now here comes, we will look into the arrays. What are the arrays in Java? Java arrays is an object which contains elements of a similar data type. Additionally, the elements of an array are stored in the continuous memory location. It is a data structure where we can store similar elements. We can store only a fixed set of elements in a Java array. Array in Java is index based. The first element of an array is stored on the index 0 and the second element is stored in the index 1 and so on. Now here we comes to see the what is the reference parameter. When the reference to a location of a variable is passed to a function as arguments, then it is called pass by reference. The memory address of the variable is stored in a pointer and this pointer is passed to the function as arguments. In this case, the called function will have access to the original address of the variable and any modifications in the variable will result in changes whichever function is accessing the variable. Now comes to the passing arrays to methods. We can pass arrays to methods just like a normal variable. When we pass an array to a method as an argument, actually the address of the array is the memory is passed reference. Therefore, any changes to this array is a method will affect the array. For example, we have two methods, that is min and maximum, which accepts any array and these methods calculate the minimum and maximum values of a given array respectively. Now, here comes to look into the multiple subscripted arrays. A common use of a multiple subscripted arrays, also called multidimensional arrays, is to represent tables of values consisting of information arranged in rows and columns. Here, now we will come into another topic, that is scope of variables in Java. All identifiers are lexically or technically scoped. That is, scope of a variable can be determined at compile time and independent of function called stack. Java programs are organized in the form of classes. Every class is part of some package. Java scope rules can be covered under following categories. Number one is that member variables, class level scope. These variables must be declared inside the class outside any function. They can be directly accessed anywhere in class. Next one is the local variables, method level scope. Variables declared inside a method have method level scope and can be accessed outside the method. Now, controlling access to members. Number one is the private. The most restricted access level is private. A private member is accessible only to the class in which it is defined. Use this access to declare members that should only be used by the class. This includes variables that contain information that if accessed by the outsider could put all the objects in consistent state or method that is invoked by the outsider. Could jeopardize a state of the object or a program in which it is running. Private members are like secrets you never tell anybody. Protected, which allows the class itself, subclass, that all classes in the same package to access the members. Use the protect access level when it's appropriate for the class subclass to have access the member but not an unrelated classes. Now, the third last is the easiest public. The easiest access specifier is public. Any class in this package has access to a class public members. Declare the public members only if such access cannot produce undesirable results if an outsider uses them. There are no personal or family secrets here. That is an example for the public. Now, the last one is package. The package access level is what we get if you don't explicitly set a member access to one of the other levels. This access level allows classes in the same package as your class to access the members. This level of access assumes that the class is the same package are trusted friends. This level of this trust is that which you are extended to your close friends, but you couldn't trust even to your family. These are the topics covered in this section. Thank you.